Yeah. Corey, we're not live yet, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, we are actually live now, so we're going to get going. If you're at home practicing, welcome. This won't be a practice where I'll really be looking at the camera and focusing so much on the camera. I'll be focusing on the live students, but the camera should be at an angle where everybody can see me if you're at home. And yeah, welcome to CVMA, our first official class here since March the 16th. We closed the studio down that evening after classes. We all went out and had a little cheer together, and we've been waiting ever since then. So here we are. We're going to start our outdoor classes today, and we'll be here every Saturday morning, weather permitting. If it is ugly weather, we'll go inside and do online, and you can stay at home and practice. If it's nice weather, we'll be out here practicing right up until we can open. Hopefully, just in a couple weeks, but waiting for that green phase. So yeah. So if you want to just come to the top of your mat, we'll go ahead and stand with our feet about hip distance apart or some comfortable position for yourself and just relax your shoulders, maybe shake out the arms just a little bit. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and just release through the mouth. Maybe 3 of those types of breaths, inviting that fresh air in, fresh opportunity, exhaling the stale, exhaling the things you won't need on your mat for the next hour. And then eventually, if you want to close your mouth and breathe through your nose, you can do that. If you're having some allergy issues and you just need to breathe through your mouth, that's fine. You're still going to have a great practice. Opportunity to set your intention for your practice if you like to do that. That intention is something you can visit throughout your practice, check in with. Opportunity here as we're breathing just to scan the body, start at the head, down through the face, shoulders, chest, abs, legs, hips, seeing what's maybe tight, what might need loosened throughout the practice. Starting to work our breath up to that nice long inhale count with a little pause at the top, exhaling with that little pause at the bottom. So let's go ahead and just inhale and reach our arms up towards the sky, nice and high. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. You could even take the option to come up onto the toes if that's there for you. And then exhale, bring it down and relax. And let's take our right arm and inhale, open into a big half moon, keeping that right hip pressed down towards the mat. Maybe the gaze goes over towards that right armpit. Exhaling to come back to center. And we'll inhale, open with the left side. Nice big half moon, lateral stretches here. Exhaling back to center. Let's flow a few of those on each side with your breath pace. Inhaling to open, reaching out long, feeling the stretch down through the shoulder, the rib cage, and into that hip. Exhaling, coming back to center. Just connecting breath and movement here. Take that nice full inhale to get open. Find that just little half-second pause. Then take that nice full exhale to return. And we'll work towards evening ourselves out there on that flow and meet back standing in our mountain pose. And then let's inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale into a forward fold, soft knees hinging at the hips, raising the hips towards the sky and shifting the weight towards the front of the feet. Crown of the head sort of facing down towards the ground. Let's let the hands slide up the shins and inhale to a halfway lift. So on that half lift, the hips are being pulled straight behind you. Real nice hamstring stretch, starting to activate those legs. And let's soften the knees and exhale into our forward fold. And then let's inhale, coming up nice and slow. Let the hands come float out to the sides, up overhead. And let's just exhale, both hands right out in front of us, both arms, palms facing down. And let's set up on an inhale. And let's exhale that breath. And then we're going to inhale and reach the right arm back into a nice little twist. Let that gaze follow that right middle finger. And then exhale, coming back. And then we'll inhale, opening on that left side, twisting and letting the gaze follow the left hand. Exhale and coming back. Let's take a couple more of those on each side. Inhale as you open into your twist. Let that twist come right through your core. Exhale back. And at your own pace, continue your flow, just connecting breath and movement. Evening out on both sides, meeting back in the middle, and just relax your arms at the side when you're ready. Take your time if you still have a little bit of flow to work through. And then we'll inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, soft knees, hinging at the hips, coming into our forward fold, shifting the weight to the front of the feet and raising the hips towards the sky. And then on your next inhale, coming up nice and slow, hands ride right up those shins all the way up to standing. And we'll move into a little bit of a cat-cow flow. So we'll give a couple options on that and see which one works best for you. We'll start with the one that tends to give the most stretch across these shoulders here. So let's go goalpost arms and inhale, open. And just feel the shoulder blades come towards the spine. Tip that tailbone back, arching the back. Exhale, let's come in round. Tuck the tailbone in, round the back. Tuck the chin slightly towards the chest. Inhale, open to your goalpost arms, reaching back, bringing those shoulder blades together. Exhaling to round, tucking the tailbone, drawing that belly button in towards the spine. And then continuing that way, or taking the option of nice wide arms as you open, if that feels better across the shoulders. Exhaling to round, close, tuck the tailbone, feel the shoulder blades press away from the spine. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Another closing, you could also try prayer hands here and just sort of press those together, getting that nice little cavity between the thumbs and the chest. And as a final option, if you want to take the arms open all the way behind the back, clasp the hands, draw the hands down towards the ground, open the shoulders, raise the chest and gaze towards the sky. Exhale, round one more time. And release down by the side. And then we'll inhale, hands back up. Exhaling, soft knees into a forward fold. Shifting the weight to the front of the feet. We're going to put the hands on the mat and step back to our plank. And for high plank, you can either take high plank or you lower the knees down to the ground. And let's press the shoulders away from the spine. Draw that belly in towards the spine. And we're going to inhale and shift up onto our toes. Exhale, coming down our chaturanga push-up. Elbows gently glide along the ribs all the way down to our mat. Engage the core. Inhale to a baby. Exhale down. We're going to tuck the toes on an inhale, and when we exhale, press all the way up. Use the core strength, raise the hips, find down dog. In our down dog, think about those shoulders pressing away from the spine, hips lifting high. Go ahead and pedal out your down dog if you like to do that. Pressing one heel and the opposite knee towards the mat, then changing. Keeping the hips lifted towards the ceiling or the sky. And then eventually finding your still down dog. And let's inhale the right foot up to a three-legged dog. And when we exhale, step it forward to a low lunge pose. So option to have the knee on the mat here or option to have the knee off the mat. Let's just come into our prayer hands here for a moment. And then we're going to take a twist to our right side. So let's set up on an inhale. And when we exhale, start to twist and get that left elbow worked outside the right knee. Open so that the chest and hands are lined with heart center, the hands in the heart center. Next exhale, we can release that elbow, come back to our lunge pose. Come down and frame the front foot. Inhale, foot to the right. Come into a half lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, coming up nice and slow, all the way to standing. Exhale that breath, rotate the palms open. Then we'll take a nice big inhale, bringing the hands up overhead. Exhaling into a forward fold, soft knees hinging at the hips. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back to high plank or modified high plank. And we're going to work a vinyasa flow just like we did. This time we'll give the option for baby cobra or up dog. So let's inhale and shift forward. Exhale down. Core engaged for your choice. Baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, find down dog. Let's inhale, left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step forward to a lunge pose. Again, option for the right knee to be on the mat or up. Stack that left knee over the left ankle. Let's set up together on an inhale, ready for a twist. Exhale, right elbow outside that left knee. Bring those thumbs to heart center. Gaze trying to peek over that left shoulder. Maybe even taking the pressure off that right knee with the elbow. And then exhaling back to center, finding that balance. Coming down, framing the front foot. Inhaling right foot to meet the left. Coming to a half lift. Exhale to forward fold. And then we'll inhale and come up nice and slow to standing. Rotate the palms out, take a breath. And we'll move into some sun salutations. Sort of seems appropriate with not a cloud in the sky. Literally not one, so wonderful. So let's go ahead and inhale, hands up overhead. We're gonna take a little back bend this time, engage the core, keep that grapefruit under your chin. Exhale, hips under center, soft knees, forward fold. Inhaling to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on the mat, stepping back to plank. Your version of your vinyasa flow. Inhaling forward, exhaling down, core engaged. Finding our down dog. Let's inhale, right leg up to a three-legged dog. Step it forward to our lunge pose. Bring that left foot up to meet the right on an inhale, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Up nice and slow again. One vertebrae at a time. This time we'll let the hands float out and up overhead. Exhaling, eyes and hands to heart center. Then we'll do that same sun salutation on our opposite side. So let's inhale, hands up. Taking our little back bend, core engaged. Exhale, hips under center, soft knees. Forward fold. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back to high plank. Working your vinyasa flow. Inhaling forward, exhaling down. Inhaling to baby cobra or up dog. And finding down dog on the exhale. Inhaling left foot up to a three-legged dog, leading with the heel. Exhale, stepping forward. We'll inhale that right foot to meet the left. Come into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Shoulders round back. Let the hands float out to the side, overhead. Exhaling to heart center. And you can let the palms rotate out. Take a breath. If you wish to take a child's pose, you're welcome to do that. I'll try to keep us up off the mat since we're out here in the grass as much as possible. But feel free to take your child's pose position anytime, or just a position of rest is standing with the palms rotated out, shoulders open. And we'll get ready to continue our flow. So let's go ahead and inhale our hands up overhead. Exhale, step right foot back to warrior two. So a nice hip opener here. And let's think about warrior two, stacking the left knee on the left ankle. Make sure we see a little bit of that big toe inside the left knee. Gently relax the shoulders, but give that rib cage that little lift. Maybe a little sensation of pressure on the outer edges of the feet while the thighs gently rotate in. Let's turn that front hand palm up and take our reverse warrior. Right hand will slide back down that right leg. Open up big, reaching way back with that left hand. Feeling the stretch come through the rib cage all the way into the top of that left hip. Continue to breathe here in the pose. And when you take your next exhale, let's come back and find our warrior two. And then we're gonna take our hand like an L shape with our thumb. Find that little hip crease here in the left hip. Start to press into it and straighten that front leg. Don't lock the knee. And we'll bring our right hand straight up to high 12. Gaze can go up towards the right hand. Little form of a triangle pose here. Everybody's looking good. As we take our next inhale, let's start to put that bend back in our left knee, press into that left foot, come back up and find warrior two. And then we're going to go ahead and pivot on the back foot, come around and frame our front foot. Let's go ahead and lower the, touch the mat if you want. And then exhale, press through that right heel, straightening that right leg. Feel that nice hip flexor stretch. And then let's go ahead and inhale that right foot to meet the left. Find our half lift. Exhaling into our forward fold, soft knees. Inhaling, coming up all the way, shoulders round back, hands float up overhead. Exhale to heart center. And then let's go ahead and inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale into our chair pose. Draw the hips back so that the knees. And then for this one, we're going to take a twist to the left. So we'll set up together on an inhale. When we twist to the left, take that left hand and bind it to the sacrum. Right hand over to the left hip. Gaze over that left shoulder. Draw that right hip back so the right knee's not sticking out in front of the left. Nice. As you take your next exhale, let's untwist back to our chair pose. Inhale, sweeping hands up overhead. Exhale, stepping back, left foot into warrior two. Stacking now the right knee over the right ankle. Hips are open. Little big toe inside that can be seen inside that right knee. Again, lower the shoulders gently. Maybe a little lift with the rib cage. Let's take the left hand down to the left, outside of the left leg. Right hand palm up. Inhale, open to our reverse warrior. This time reaching back long like someone's tugging on that right wrist. Nice stretch through the shoulder, all the way through the ribs and into that right hip. Continuing to breathe in our pose. Next inhale, let's float back to warrior two. And we're going to go ahead and find that little 90-degree L shape with our hand. Put it into that right crease, right there where the leg meets the hip. Start to press into that and straighten the right leg. The left hand and the gaze floats up to high 12. Not locking that knee on the right leg, just nice straight leg. Looking at the sky can definitely cause some balance challenge. Let's get ready to put that bend back in the right knee and float back to warrior two. And then we're going to pivot on the ball of the left foot, come around and frame the right foot. Drop that left knee almost to the mat or just touching the mat. Then exhale, extending through the left heel, straightening that left leg. Feeling that nice hip flexor stretch on that top of the left leg. Then we're going to inhale left leg to meet the right. Come into a halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, we're going to come up nice and slow again. One vertebrae at a time. Let the shoulders round back, then the hands float up overhead. Eyes follow. Exhaling, eyes and hands to heart center. And we'll take that twisting chair pose now on our other side. So let's inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale into our chair pose, drawing the hips back so that the knees are behind the big toes. Now we're set up together on an inhale. And we exhale, twisting to the right. So right hand's going to bind to the sacrum or lower back. Left hand's going to go find that right hip. Draw that left hip back, gazes over the right shoulder. Continue to breathe. Everybody's looking good. As we take our next exhale, let's gently come back and untwist to our chair. Inhale, sweeping hands up overhead. Exhale into our forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale back to forward fold. Hands on the mat, stepping back to your version of plank, high plank or modified. And then we'll work your version of a vinyasa flow, inhaling up onto the toes, exhaling down, core engaged for your choice of baby cobra or up dog. Exhaling, finding down dog.
And we'll take a breath here in down dog. We're going to twist our down dog for a moment. So let's set up on an inhale. And when we exhale, reach that left hand for the right ankle. If it doesn't find the ankle, it might find somewhere on the shin below the knee. And maybe that gaze starts to go all the way under that right armpit, trying to find the ceiling or the sky. As you start your next exhale, let's untwist our dog. Left hand back on the mat. And we're going to twist the dog the opposite way. So exhale, reaching right hand for the left ankle or somewhere below the knee. Opening that gaze up under the left armpit towards the sky. And on the next exhale, we'll untwist, coming back to down dog. And let's work our vinyasa flow. Inhale and shift forward. Exhale down. Inhale for up dog or baby cobra. Exhale to down dog. And then let's go ahead and bring our gaze right between our thumbs and just tiptoe towards the thumbs. When your feet meet your hands or when your wrists start to peel off the mat, you can pause there and just come up to standing. And just bear with me, I just need to grab a quick drink so we can keep talking. So the people that are with us here live outdoors, a little different feel in the bright sunshine. Definitely need to keep that water going. Okay. So when you're ready, we'll come back to the top of our mat. If you're not quite ready, just take the time you need and join when you're ready. We're going to go ahead and inhale, hands back up overhead, and exhale, stepping right foot back to warrior two. So again, stacking the left knee on the left ankle, hips are open here, rib cage is lifted slightly, shoulders are relaxed. So we're going to take a version of eagle arms here. And let me just say that the first modification will just be to come to prayer hands when we do this. And you can totally do that with prayer hands. If you want to try for the eagle arms, go ahead and give yourself a hug, keeping the left arm on top. Open with the backs of the hands towards each other. Then bring the right hand towards your face. Cross the left and find palm to palm. Any version of that. If you can't quite get the hands, this is fine. Okay, and then from our warrior two, we're going to rotate the torso. And we're just going to sort of forward fold over this left thigh, keeping that left knee stacked on the left ankle. It's like a version of a halfway lift, warrior two, and eagle all combined in one. As we take our next inhale, press into the left foot, come back up, release your eagle arms back to warrior two. And then here from warrior two, let's straighten our front leg. Take a little shift forward like someone tugs that right or left wrist forward, then open into a triangle pose. Right hand up towards high 12, left hand gently inside that left shin. Right shoulder stacked on the left. Let's go ahead and put the bend back in the left knee. Inhale and press into that left foot and float back up to our warrior two. Then again, we're gonna, well, this time, let's step forward with the right foot to meet the left. And then we're just gonna step back with the left foot and find warrior two on this side. And we'll try those eagle arms on this left side. So I'm just gonna face this way, it'll be a little better view for the camera. Make sure if you look at your right heel, it would line up with your left heel if you just drew a straight line between the two. We'll set up here, and again, option one can be just to do prayer hands and come this way. And if you want to do the eagle arms, give yourself a hug with the right arm on top. And then open so the backs of the hands are towards each other. And you can stay here if this is all you can get here, that's fine. If you can bring your left hand now towards your face, passing your right, crisscross, palm to palm. And then we'll rotate the torso, Exhale, forward folding, or I'm sorry, halfway lifting more over this right thigh. Keep your right knee stacked on your right ankle. Everybody's looking good. Continue to breathe. Next inhale, let's press into that right foot. Come back up, release our eagle arms. Then we'll straighten that front leg. Take that little shift forward with the torso towards the front. Exhale and find our triangle pose. Might be a little bit of a balance challenge if you're looking up at that sky. Left shoulders drawn gently back, stacked on the right. Continuing to breathe. Let's put that bend back in the right knee, press into the right foot, float back to warrior two, and then we'll just step with the left foot coming up towards the right and finding the top of our mat. I need to just shift some of my stuff out here, bear with me. So we'll do just a little bit of work with our feet at a wide distance apart. You can choose to, if you want to face me, you can choose to turn your mat. If you don't need to face me, you just hear the cues, that's fine. If you want to step off your mat, you can do that, whatever feels good for you. So at that wide-legged, we're just a little more than hip distance apart, maybe another half foot length to a foot length more than hip distance apart. Let's go ahead and just come into a wide-legged half lift. So keeping the legs fairly straight, knees aren't quite locked. Hinge at the hips, nice flat back, crown of the head faced forward. Imagine someone's behind you and just gently drawing your hips back towards them. Feel that nice stretch down the back of the legs. We're going to get ready to exhale into a wide-legged forward fold. So shift the weight to the balls of the feet, hinge at the hips, release that back, let the crown of the head hang heavy. You can even do ragdoll arms here to add a little weight, get a little length to the spine. Continue to breathe. Now let's go ahead and come back to that halfway lift. And we're gonna do a little twist here. So just follow the cues. Let's take the left hand, from this halfway lift, just sort of exhale and relax back into somewhat of a forward fold. You don't have to go into a deep fold here. And let's take the left hand over to the right ankle. And I'm gonna put my fingers on the outside of that ankle. Yeah, there you go. And then we're gonna take the right hand and inhale and sweep up to a big wide-legged twist. Right hand going up towards high 12. And then we're going to take that right hand and put it in our back left pocket. Let the back of your hand come against your glute. And keep that right shoulder really drawn open. And then take your gaze, gently sweep it down to the mat, and let it go find that big left toe. Nice deep twist, nice neck stretch here. Nice stretch on the hamstrings. As we start our next inhale, let's take that gaze in that right hand and gently sweep them back up to high 12. And then exhale and bring that right hand back down, releasing that left hand off the right ankle. Take a nice forward fold here with ragdoll arms. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And we're going to get ready to set up for the opposite side here. So we're going to take our right hand, reach over for that left ankle, fingers sort of wrap around the outside of the ankle. Then we're going to, right hand wrap it around the left ankle. Then we're going to take our left hand, inhale and sweep up to high 12. Gaze follows as far as the nose will let it go. Then we're going to take that left hand, put it in our back right pocket, back of the hand going against the glute. Keep that left shoulder open. Gently sweep the gaze back down and find that right big toe with the eyeballs. Keep the left shoulder drawn open. Nice shoulder opener, twist. Got that neck stretch. Continuing to breathe, of course. As we start our next inhale, let that gaze and left hand sweep back up to high 12. Exhale. Let that left hand and gaze sweep back down to the mat, releasing that right hand off of our left ankle, finding that wide-legged forward fold with ragdoll arms, letting that head hang heavy. Feeling that release in the back on each exhale, finding a little more length. Hips lift high towards the ceiling. As you start your next inhale, let's come up nice and slow.
One vertebrae at a time. Let the shoulders round back, then the head come up last. And we'll bring our feet back onto our mat. Just check our time here. Oh yeah, we're good. Now we'll get ready to just continue our flow. I have a little extracurricular activity here with the live folks going, so bear with us. All good. So let's inhale our hands up overhead. Exhale, step right foot back to warrior one. So with warrior one, imagine there's two different tracks, two different like railroad tracks on your mat. Your left foot's balanced on one, your right foot's balanced on the other and just slightly cocked out, maybe not quite to a 45-degree angle. So warrior two, we had our hips open. Warrior one, we want our hips closed, nice and square with the edges of your mat. Stack that left knee on left ankle. Bring the hands up overhead, gently relax the shoulders, lift that rib cage. Go ahead and engage the quad muscles in both quads, left and right. And just feel the power there in that warrior one pose. Let's set up on an inhale, and when we exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips into our humble warrior. Let the hands float back like airplane wings. Continue to breathe. Keep your belly drawn in towards your spine. Crown of the head's face forward. Let's inhale, press into the left foot, come back up, find our warrior one. Straighten that left leg. We're going to exhale, hinging at the hips into our pyramid pose. Careful not to lock that left knee. So pyramid pose is just like a forward fold right over that left leg. Try to keep that back nice and straight. Crown of the head reaching out in front of that big toe. Everybody's looking good. So let's go to our revolve triangle. Let's put the right hand inside the left foot and sweep the left hand out to the left side all the way up to high 12. Draw that left shoulder back to stack on the right. Gaze can follow that left hand. Good. Everybody looks good in their twists. Let's exhale and sweep that left hand down, framing the front foot. Put that bend back in your left knee and then press into the left foot, and we'll come back up. Find warrior one. Now, my balance usually is not good outdoors. I'm just going to tell you that right up front. But nonetheless, let's just go ahead and bring our hands down to the hips for a moment. We're going to try warrior three. So just follow the cues, do the best you can. If outside gives you a little instability, just recognize that and know that we can sit this right foot down anytime we're ready. So let's go ahead and bring the hands up overhead. Engage the core. Find a focus point right out in front of your mat. And then we're going to go ahead and start to lean and shift the weight to this front leg, this left leg, straightening that left leg, hinging at the hips, leading with the right heel behind us, keeping the shoulders relaxed in their sockets, reaching out with the hands, lifting through that left thigh, finding your version of warrior three. When you're ready, on an exhale and with as much control as possible, sit that right foot back down. Sometimes that's lots of control, and sometimes it's just, I got to come back down, and it is what it is. So, and then from here, let's step forward with our right foot to meet the left, and we'll just step right back with our left foot, sliding it back, finding warrior one on this other side. Again, hips square, right knee stacked on the right ankle, quads engaged. Let's go ahead and inhale up, relax the shoulders, lift the rib cage. Let's straighten the front leg, careful not to lock the knee. Exhale, hinge at the hips, finding pyramid pose. A basic forward fold right over that right leg. Finding your release on each exhale. Crown of the head reaching right out in front of that big toe. Let's place the left hand inside that right foot and get ready for our revolve triangle. So we'll get ready to inhale and sweep the gaze and right hand right up to high 12. Draw that right shoulder back so it stacks to the left. Continuing to breathe in our pose.
As you start your next exhale, let's gently sweep that right hand back down to frame the right foot. We'll put that bend back in our right knee, press into that right foot, and come back up and find Warrior One. Then we'll try our Warrior Three balance challenge on this side. So again, engage the core, draw that belly in towards the spine and up. And we'll start to shift the weight. Find your focus point. Start to shift the weight to the right foot. Start to hinge at the hips. Raise that left heel behind you. Lead with that left heel. Lift through that right thigh. Reach out long with the arms, but keep the shoulders down. Continue to breathe. Yeah. And just like, oh, nice, Joe. Just like I said on the other side, sometimes you'll come down with lots of grace, and sometimes the balance just goes away and you need to come back down. So come on back down when you're ready. And then we'll just step up with the left foot to meet the right from there. Go ahead and just rotate the palms out. Close the eyes. We'll take about 3 breaths of rest here, or if a drink's more appropriate for you at this time, that's fine. And we will get ready to continue our flow. So let's inhale and bring hands up overhead. And we're going to exhale into our forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale back to forward fold. And then we're going to get ready to put our hands on the mat and step back and find our down dog. Little hip opening. So we're going to inhale the right foot up to a 3-legged dog. Lead with that right heel. And then we're going to inhale and start to open that right hip, trying to point that right knee maybe out to the wall or up towards the corner of the ceiling, maybe all the way towards the ceiling. Gaze sort of gently looks under that right armpit. Continuing to breathe. Let's exhale and close that hip. We'll inhale and straighten the right leg. Exhale, sit that right leg down. Then we're going to inhale into a 3-legged dog, raising the left leg. Lead with that left heel. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, start to open that left hip. Left knee points out towards the left, towards the ceiling. Gazes under that left armpit. Continuing to breathe. Exhale and close the hip. Inhale back to a 3-legged dog. Exhale, sitting the left foot down. And then let's bring our knees down to the mat. And enjoy a child's pose, whether you've taken that option yet or not. Sink the hips back towards the glutes. Arms can go out long in front of you. Relax. Maybe the option to keep the arms out in front or stack the hands. Let the forehead rest on the hands or the fists. And then when you're ready, let's one of us. And we'll go ahead and find our down dog. Tucking the toes, exhaling. Now here in down dog, let's remember to spread the shoulders away from the spine. Lift the hips high. Crown of the head points down between those thumbs. And then let's go ahead and take the right foot, inhale it up. Exhale, stepping forward to a low lunge. Option to drop that knee down. So we were here earlier in class and did an outer twist. This time we'll do an internal twist. So we're going to set up together on an inhale. And when we exhale, we're going to twist and bring this right elbow inside the right knee. Bring those thumbs to heart center by twisting through the core. Gaze over that left shoulder. Maybe we try to release a little pressure off that elbow. Continue to breathe. As we start our next exhale, let's untwist. Find a balance. Come down and frame the front foot. Inhale, left foot to meet the right. Find our half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we'll come up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders round back, let the hands float up overhead. Exhale to heart center. Then we'll get ready to inhale, hands up. Exhale into a forward fold. Going to inhale to a half lift. Exhale back to forward fold. Stepping back to plank. And doing your version of your vinyasa flow. Inhaling forward, exhaling down. Core engaged for whatever back bend you choose. Exhaling to down dog. And then let's inhale left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward, low lunge. Option to have that knee on the mat, or option to bring it up. We'll set up with prayer hands for that internal twist on this side. So when we start our next exhale, let's twist, bringing that left elbow inside the left knee. Bring those hands to heart center by twisting through the core. Gaze is going to go over that right shoulder. Maybe release some pressure off the elbow. Continue to breathe. When you start your next exhale, gently untwist. Come down and frame that front foot. Inhale, right foot to meet the left. Find our half lift. Exhale to forward fold. And then we'll inhale, coming up. Letting the shoulders round back, hands float out to the side. So we'll get ready to take a little back bend here. Just go where your back feels comfortable. If it doesn't feel comfortable with the back bend, just keep it straight. So we're going to do a little bit of a camel. Let's take and make fists with our hands. And then we're just going to rotate, nice big reverse shoulder roll, and let those fists just land right here at the lower back, the sacrum. And try to keep the elbows coming together. And then from here, we're going to engage the core and just start to press those fists gently into that lower back. Hips just gently push out, and we start our little back bend. Try not to throw that neck back. Keep like a grapefruit or softball under your chin. Continue to breathe. As you start your next inhale, let's gently start to come out of this back bend, bring the hips back under center. Once you're back to straight, let's inhale, hands up. Exhale into forward fold. So now shift the weight to the front of the feet, lift the hips up high. Let that crown of the head be heavy, pulling down towards the ground. Continue to breathe. And then let's go ahead and put our hands on the mat and just step back, coming onto our knees for a moment. And well, I like to do this with props because not just this connection on one side, I struggle with it myself. For it, we can still get a try for our cow face pose. And the first option for cow is going to be, don't worry about the legs, in easy seat position, and remain here until it's time for the hands. If you want to try to cross the legs, if you know that's not for you, this is an option. But if you want to try to cross the legs, just shift forward into tabletop. And then from tabletop, we're just going to bring the left leg in front of the right and just sort of cup the knees together, opening the feet wide. So when I look at my knee, it's like the point of a capital letter A, and my shins are going out. My feet are here to the side, and I just sit back here. Sometimes I'll roll forward to try to get the knees to stack a little better. And then eventually settling in, just making sure both glutes are on the mat. So again, if that's not there for you, just return that part to easy seated. And then we're going to the right hand and bring it up and just reach it down like you're trying to find that itch in the center. And when we're setting up for this, understand the neck might come down, but once we're in this pose, we want to open up and make sure we're not crunching the neck.
And so at the same time, take the left hand and it's going to start to come up the center of the back and try to find that same little itch. And maybe the fingers just touch. On my side, that's about all, on this side, that's about all I get. And then once you get there, whether you're touching, whether you're interlace fingers, or you're just somewhere in between, just start to sit back up then nice and straight. Feel a nice shoulder stretch here on this left shoulder going on. Little opening on the right. When we begin our next exhale, let's gently release the right hand and then gently let that left hand slide down the lower back and bring it around front. And if you've taken the leg option, you just start to roll forward, uncross the legs back to tabletop. Again, easy seat is an option. Even here is an option if you don't like the leg crossing, because you can still do the arm and get the shoulder stretches here. If you want to try the legs again, then this time we'll take the right leg, just bring it in front of the left, cross, stack the knees, sort of like two cups stacking on top of each other, and then start to roll the glutes back, open the shins into that letter A. And then if the knees come too far apart, you could roll forward, make any adjustments that feel comfortable. Let the glutes settle. This time we'll take the left hand and we're going to reach down the center of the back, finding that little itch. Take the right hand, the back of the right hand goes against the back, starts to walk up. Maybe it finds that left hand and clinches together. Maybe they just touch, or maybe there's a foot between them. It doesn't matter, just whatever works for your body. Then sit up nice and straight so the neck's not in a crunch. And breathe. Feeling that nice shoulder opener. So as you start your next exhale, if you got your hands clasped, gently release. Bring that left hand down. Let that right hand slide down front. And if we cross the legs, let's roll forward and uncross the legs. And from here, it might feel good just to take the left hand, again, try to reach it down that center of that back. But this time, bring the right hand up and find the elbow. Just give a little gentle press. Again, try not to crunch the neck and the shoulders here. Keeping the shoulders open, neck straight up from the spine. And we'll release that. Shake that out a little bit. We'll just move to the other side, bringing that right hand down now like it's trying to find that same little itch in the center of the spine. Then maybe adding just a little gentle downward pressure on that elbow. We're not cranking into it. And when you're ready, just gently release. Maybe a few little shoulder rolls. And let's, if you're not already seated on the mat, come on the mat. And we'll just take our feet wide apart. So we got some distance between the feet. Let's nice and straight, maybe even take the hands up overhead. Let's rotate the torso so it's going to forward fold over the right foot, leg. And then we're going to exhale, hinging at the hips, forward folding over that right leg. Let the hands just come out and find the shin or the top of the foot. Relax. Imagine the crown of the head gently being drawn down right on top of that right big toe. Try not to round the back severely here. Just keep the shoulders gently relaxed. If you want a little deeper stretch here, bend the elbows. Try not to grab that foot and crank on it. Just let the hands rest where they're at. Think about that left glute staying on the mat. If that's starting to raise up, then just come up a little bit out of your forward fold. Next inhale, we're just going to slide the hands up the legs, come back up, rotate that torso back to center. And we'll take the same stretch on the other side. So again, pull the toes back, inhale up, rotate the torso over the left leg, exhale, forward folding over this left leg, letting the hands just rest where they will. Again, not grabbing the foot and cranking into the fold here. Gently relax the shoulders, reach those ribs like they're trying to lift the rib cage.
Helps keep the back straight as we're into our little forward fold here. Again, if you want it deeper, bend those elbows. Right glute stays on the mat. Next inhale, or whenever you feel evened out from the other side. If that's not just yet, take another breath or two on that left side and meet us when you're ready. And we'll take one more of those stretches, as I'm sure you're thinking, right down the center. So when you're ready, again, draw the toes back. Make sure we're sitting up nice and straight. Hands up. Relax the shoulders, lift that rib cage, and keep that action the whole forward fold so we don't tend to bend in the middle of the back. We just want to hinge at the hips. And if that means we don't go real low, that's fine. Just find where it's comfortable for you. You'll get a little natural bending in the back. We just don't want that big hump in the middle of the back. Keep the shoulders down. That little active, gentle press with the shoulders into their sockets and that little active lift of the rib cage really helps keep that back straight for you. Crown of the head just reaching out. And then whenever you're ready, if it feels great there, keep a couple more breaths. When you're ready, just tiptoe the hands back up. And we'll go ahead and just bring our feet in. And last pose for the day will just be staff pose. So for staff pose, it looks very inactive, but it can be very active. So let's activate the pose for a moment. So we're gonna just walk those hips back, make sure we're sitting up nice and straight. Imagine that rectangular box that your body fits perfectly in, but the toes gotta be pulled back. Crown of the head's gotta be reaching up and touching, hands right here beside it. Activate the thighs, or the quads, those shin muscles. Lift through the rib cage, gently relax the shoulders. And as you take your next exhale, just let all those muscles relax. And go ahead and come down to your mat for a moment. Let's just take one big full body stretch together. Bring hands up overhead, pointing and flexing the toes a few times, reaching the shoulders up, and then eventually exhaling. And then from there, just find whatever other moves your body wants to make before we settle in for our rest period. So if you're here active, I'll be here with you. If you're online, just know that we're going to have a timer that'll start at 5 minutes and count down. So you won't see me on your TV, but at the end of that 5 minutes, I will be back. And I see some of our live people here heading towards a little shade spot. That's great. And feel free to do that. Take whatever last minute stretches you're looking for, eventually settling into a comfortable position of stillness. Maybe taking that last body scan from head to toe, seeing what feels different in your body from the beginning of class till now. And then eventually just scanning from head to toe again, relaxing the forehead, relaxing all those muscles in the eyes, relaxing the face muscles. Make sure we're not just clenching our jaw shut, just relax the jaw. Think about the chest and rib cage just being soft, soft through the core. Hips are just sort of melting into the mat, all the way down the legs into the feet. Everything's relaxed. So just take this time for you and your body to rest and restore.
can start to think about bringing those feelings of awareness back to the body. Think about a deep breath in through the nose, feeling the rib cage rise and expand, then exhaling that breath through the mouth. If you want, you can start to move your fingers and your toes. Wrists and ankles may start to move. The body just slowly awakens, bringing some awareness back. Trying to keep the mind restful though. Once you're ready to bend knees and elbows, if you like to make your way to your right side, to take a few breaths to end your practice. Would encourage you maybe to put a hand on the ground and just feel the nice calmness coming from the earth. Taking as many breaths as you like on that side, just returning to a seated position whenever you're ready. So we'll get ready, whether you're here or whether you're home, we'll get ready to just end our practice together with a nice unifying breath. Stick our arms out wide and face the palms up. So the breath will be in through the nose and exhale audible through the mouth. So let's start our inhale, bringing hands up overhead, connecting fingertips and palms. Exhaling to center. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with us this morning. We'll be back here next Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, and in the event of bad weather, we'll go inside to teach and have it available online on our YouTube channel for you. So thanks for joining, everybody. Okay.